Good morning. This is call number 2020-25184 in the interest of Milani Rodriguez. All parties and witnesses, please unmute yourselves and raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Unmute yourself, Mr. Rodriguez. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Yvonne Teran. I'm Milani Rodriguez's mother.
All right, sir, your name and your relationship to the child.
Ishmael Rodriguez. I'm Milani Belarose Rodriguez's father.
All right, are you driving, sir?
I am. Well, I'm not driving. I'm actually parked.
You're parked. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And for the state, representative state, unmute yourself, please, Ms. Parker.
Sharday Parker, Your Honor.
All right. We've got an original petition of suit affecting parent-child relationship for the acknowledgement of paternity. We've had the temporary hearing in September, and now we're here on a final hearing. We're having a hearing, in fact, and do we have any stipulations?
Yes, Your Honor, the parties stipulate to joint managing conservatorship with Ms. Teran being the primary, with the person to was the primary residence within Harris and contiguous counties. They also stipulate that Mr. Rodriguez is currently in arrears of child support in the amount of $456 and in arrears in medical support in the amount of $75.
Okay. And the issue, are these your agreements so far, Ms. Teran?
Agreement for what she just mentioned, the
Yes.
child support.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
That,
sir.
all right. Is that your agreement so far, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. So what are the issues then, Ms. Parker?
The issues are when we did the temporary order, there was a modified visitation schedule in there. Mr. Rodriguez would like to have a standard visitation order, and Ms. Teran would like to complete the modified. Also, the issue is the retroactive child support is an issue, and also the current support.
All right. So we're going to be dealing with what he has to pay in child support, how much is behind, or rather retroactive child support, and his visitation periods. Is that correct, Ms. Teran?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's proceed then.
Your Honor, the state would like to call Von Teran to the stand.
All right.
Ms. Teran, the last time we were here, we did a modified possession schedule. Has
Yes,
Mr. Rodriguez followed the modified possession schedule?
No, ma'am.
And
No,
how many visits has he completed?
2 visits for 2 hours each visit, not the whole 5.
And were there any visits that were missed, not because of Mr. Rodriguez, but because of you?
Yes, there was one visit missed. We had COVID. That was shortly after our when we did the modified order. I went that Friday and I had tested positive along with the baby and her siblings. So I did have the result of that from UTMB. They sent it through my portal, and also where I couldn't go to work for the next 2 weeks. So I did keep her quarantined along with her siblings and myself for the first 14 days. And after that, I mean, I was willing to do that missed time, make it up as well.
Okay, and did you offer him to make up the missed time?
Yes, along with even hours that if, say, for example, because there was one time where I was running a little bit late, and I told him that, I'm sorry for running late, and he can also make up the time if he like, we can stay later so that way he can complete his whole time. But either way, it didn't last. But And within 2 hours and like 3 minutes, he had messaged me to get her already.
Okay, and when you do the visitations, how much advance notice would you give him of like where you're gonna have the
Mhm.
Well, we would, on a Wednesday, I would ask him like, okay, so next time, that way you're prepared. There was this one time I wanted to take her to a little farm, but I know it was too far for him. So we ended up going to the zoo. And but it was text on a Wednesday, so that way it would give him enough time, you know, for whatever arrangements or, you know, so he knew where we were going. If it was too far, we changed the location. So that's when he said, okay, the zoo, he was willing to do the zoo and he would meet there. Milani's free at the zoo, so I thought it would be easier, you know, somewhere he didn't have to pay for her.
And when you did the visitations, were you bringing any other people with you to these visitations?
Yes, I brought, because honestly, like I, hello, I'm so sorry, for my safety, because there is a history of
Mhm.
domestic violence in the home. And that was filed through the Houston Police Department. Because of that, I didn't feel comfortable going anywhere private with him. I wanted a public place. And yes, my boyfriend went along with 2 siblings of hers. And he would be away, far away. I would be the one by myself to take her. And then we would go our separate ways. And just, we would drop off at an area and meet back at that area at the time.
Okay, and why are you not comfortable with Mr. Rodriguez having Milani for a standard possession order?
Just because one, Milani doesn't, she doesn't have that relationship with him. She doesn't know him. She was a baby since the last time he was actually with her. So she doesn't know who he is. What I wanted to was have these modified orders for him to see her, for us to build that trust again, for me to say, hey, you know what? He's picking her up. He's, you know, keeping her the 5 hours. He's able to do it. Now, you know what? Now he can take her on her own.
Okay,
That's what I wanted.
Okay, so there was never a time where he was having her on his own prior to coming to court the last time. Was there times where he had her on his own?
The time that he would have her on his own was at the beginning. Like if I had to go to work and his sister would be the one watching her, he would sometimes have her, like, you know, if for any reason I needed someone to watch her or my mom couldn't watch her, because I paid for her to be watched by my mom because she was doing at home schooling. She's a teacher. And she was watching her. So I was paying her. And if she couldn't for any reason, then I would ask him and he would stay with her.
Okay. And in terms of since Milani's been born, have you and Mr. Rodriguez lived together?
He lived in the back house.
No,
so my
I
grandma rented out the back house.
Mm-mm.
Yes. And
No.
that she can vouch because
Okay.
he would
Okay,
pay her
so
rent
can
every
I say
month.
something?
Mr. Rodriguez, there's a
Mhm.
person on the witness stand, sir. You cannot interrupt.
Yes, sir.
You will have time to say something. You will have time to ask her questions, okay? But not while she is testifying. You cannot interrupt. This is a trial, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Parker.
And just, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. I'm sorry.
And just the same way, you know, when I would ask for anything for her, like if for something, anything at all, like even if it was diapers, what I would get in a text is, you chose it this way. It's not, you wanted it this way. So that's your problem. So after that, never would I ask for anything this whole time she was born. Like I said, the sisters did. They were the ones who bought her stuff before she was born. The brother did. They did do me a baby shower before she was born and got her a lot of her stuff. For I think after that, like one Christmas and also an Easter, they also did something for her. But besides that, as far as helping with anything for her, no, it's always been me. always.
Okay.
And I've kept
Yeah.
receipts and everything that I've had to keep.
Okay, so when you were saying he lived in the back house, was it the same house?
No, well, it's the same property, but his is half. It's 7902 and a half back there. So
Okay,
it's a
so
back apartment.
Okay, so you guys weren't paying the rent all together, were you? Or was he paying, or did he have his own rental?
He had his own rental. My rent was my rent. My bills were my bills, and his was in the back. He paid his own rent. He had his own stuff going to that address in the back.
Okay, and you're saying that was before that all happened before Milani was born. He moved into.
She moved. No, she moved. He moved in. He was living at his sister's house before Milani. So before Milani was born, when I was 3 months pregnant, he moved to his sister's house because I got really upset because he wouldn't come home for days. He would be drinking for days straight. And that was it. He was gone. He moved to his sister's house and was there through my whole pregnancy. He was there. I lived there at the big house. Then after she was born, he moved to the back house. This was after she got out of ICU because he's like, well, I don't want to leave my daughter anymore by herself. I want to be closer to her. So he rented out from my grandma in the back apartment.
Okay, and while he was living back there in that back apartment, did he buy any clothes for Milani? Did he get her any diapers?
No, he bought her. He did buy her one time that he watched her. He bought her 2 toys. He did. He bought her 2 toys. He took her to Target. He even sent me a photo and video where he bought her 2 toys. That he did.
Okay. And during that time, to your knowledge, was he working?
Yes, he works for his sister's family has a company. He works for the company, and it's always been that, you know, he's always said it again, like messages, no BITCH is ever going to get money from me. None of the other baby mamas get money from me, and you're not getting anything from me either. So he works for his sister, and every time what they do is they'll put on there that he's no longer working because he's a contract employer with them. So he works for them, and it's the Houston Modular Company. He gets taxes sent to him, but he never files taxes because he does owe back child support for other siblings.
Okay, and to your, do you know how much he was making here?
Every 2 weeks, maybe like 1,500. It just depends on his trips because sometimes if he used to have to drive like out of town, like the big 18-wheeler trucks or the big trucks, I'm sorry, he would get paid more money. So it all depends on his routes or what, because he has a CDL driver's license.
Okay, and right now he's currently unemployed. Do you believe he's unemployed?
No, ma'am, because he just recently sent me a video with a text that says Milani can easily be dropped off here at my house. He has a house, and he showed me a video of his house, and he has a brand new Cadillac of the year. And that I have photos of also. So
Okay.
I believe he is employed, but I mean, I can't prove because, you know, it's on him, you know, and on their conscience, you know, if they want to admit it or not.
Okay, and how many other children does he have, to your knowledge?
4 other kids besides
Okay.
Milani.
And how is Milani currently covered for health insurance?
She's on Medicaid right now.
Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
Mr. Rodriguez, do you have any questions for Ms. Tehran?
No, I want to speak to you. I really don't want to.
Okay, I'll let you say something in a little while, but right now
Okay.
you have an opportunity to ask your questions if you wish.
Yeah. Okay. How was I not living with you when I'm the one who paid your rent to get in our house? That when we moved from New Brunswick, we moved into that house. I paid the deposit to get us in that house. I lived with you in that.
Before
Wait,
Milani-
Mr. Ron. Mr. Ron.
Okay.
You have,
I
need to wait for the question. What is the question, sir?
Okay. I lived with her in this house.
What is the
I
question?
paid the deposit in this house. How did I not live with you when we lived together in this house? And we had to wait.
All right.
We had to wait months.
All right. That's the question. Okay. Mr. Ron, can you answer
We
the
had to
question?
wait months. Can I ask one more? We had to wait
Wait,
months.
you can
When I
ask
was,
another, you can
oh,
ask,
okay.
you'll have an opportunity to ask another question. Right now, the question is, how can you say that we didn't live together when he paid the deposit, et cetera, et cetera?
Yes.
Mr.
So
Yes.
yes, okay. So yes, we lived in New Brunswick, and then from there we did move there. This was before Milani was born. And how I said, when I was 3 months pregnant, I was upset because he wasn't coming home for days. And that's when he left my house, from that house
Oh,
that we did live in before she was born, and moved to his sister's house.
okay,
Okay.
Mr. Ron, do you understand that we're, and Mr. Rodriguez, do you understand that we're talking about since the child was born?
Yes, sir.
Were you living together? That's the
Yes,
question, right?
sir. I got pictures, Your Honor. I got pictures of us together. I got pictures with my daughter that she's saying that I never had quality time. I have thousands of pictures of me and my daughter together. I moved into that house with her. I paid the deposit for us to get in that house that she's
Okay,
talking about.
tell me, sir.
When we first,
Ask,
okay,
ask her the question.
okay,
Ask
this is
her
what
the
happened.
question about.
We lived on New Brunswick together. Okay. She couldn't pay rent there. So when I moved in, I helped her pay the rent at that place like a couple times because she couldn't pay the rent there. So her car got repoed. She had no money. Her Explorer got repoed. She had no money. I said, you know what? I can move to my grandma's. We can move to my grandma's house, but
All right,
I
sir.
need the money.
All this is not making any sense to me because you haven't told me. All I want to hear is what happened from December 19th, 2019.
Okay.
Where were you living? December
With
when the baby was
I
born.
was living with her, sir. We're living in the house. My
All
baby
right.
went to ICU.
Is that correct, Mr. Ron? Was he living with you when the baby was born?
No, sir, because when she was
Oh.
born, that's when your sister was watching the baby. You were
So who
living with
paid your deposit?
Angelica.
Wait,
Who
no,
paid the
no, no, no,
deposit
no,
for us
no,
to
no,
get in
no,
there?
no, 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 no. This is not Judge Judy. You don't get to argue with each other. It's a
Can
question and answer. That's all. You don't argue. You don't interrupt. All
can I
right.
explain the way she got to explain in the
No,
beginning,
no,
everything
no,
she got to explain? Can I
no,
explain my
no,
side?
no, because you haven't, you're going to be able to, but not right
Okay.
now. Right now, your only thing that you can do is ask her a question. She's on the witness stand.
Okay. So you're telling me that I didn't have no quality time with my daughter. I have thousands of pictures with my daughter. When you used to drop my daughter off to me in the back and I used to take her to my sister's by myself and all that before, you said that I was probably screwing other girls. That's why you took her from me. And this guy moved in and he started acting crazy. Why? How can you say that I did not spend? I could send the judge right now
Okay, hold
thousands
on,
of
sir.
pictures.
Hold on, sir.
So how can you
How
say
can you
that?
say, okay, Mr. Ron, how can you say that he doesn't have a relationship with his daughter when he has thousands of pictures of him and his daughter together?
I have
Yes. So
videos and pictures of
the
in her
time
Go
house,
that
ahead.
in our house,
In your house, okay,
in our
Mr.
house
Ron.
together that we had.
All right, Mr. Ron.
okay, so the house where I'm at, the house that I live in now, when Milani got sick, after that is when he wanted to come back. And that's when he got the back apartment and moved to the back house. This was after she was 3 months old. He moved to the back apartment. And he would get her on the days that I could not have, like when I didn't have no one to watch her and his sister wasn't watching her anymore. He would have her on those days and watched
All right,
her for
all right,
me.
Okay,
all right.
That
so
he
so
You
one
did.
more
haven't,
thing.
okay,
And
hold on, Mr. Ron, you answered the question.
and
No,
How,
you answered the question. Mr. Rodriguez, you have another question for her.
yes, sir, I do. How can she say that I didn't live with her when we had to wait like 6 months before the back apartment was available so that I could get it from her grandma that I lived in her house? How can she say that?
There's a question. How can you say that, Mr. Ron? You had to wait
that's
6 months.
The-
that's
I had
not
to wait
true
six
because
months for that back apartment to be
Mr.
available because there was
Rodriguez,
tenants.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. It's just these lies.
Okay, how
that's
can
not
you,
true because the time that when he was there, the reason why he wasn't allowed in the house was because he was ugly to my other girls. That's why
Ugly.
he was not allowed in the house because of ugly stuff
I'm
that he would say to them. And still to
okay.
this day, he still texts the ugly
oh,
stuff
all
about
right,
them.
ma'am. All right,
No.
ma'am,
And
you've
they're
answered,
minors.
you've
Yes, sir.
answered the question. I don't want to hear anything other than answers.
And
Question and answers.
did you
Eh,
not pull a gun out of me because I told you I did not want to be with you no more? Did you not
Okay,
pull a gun out of me in your house,
all right,
Yvonne? And now you're saying I'm
Mr.
violent?
Rodriguez, you just asked the question, okay? Miss Tehran, did you pull a gun on him?
No, sir. I did not pull a gun on him. Never.
All right,
Oh.
that you answered the question. Mr. Rodriguez, you got another question?
I just you okay, so I did not pay the rent for me to get into your for us to get into your grandma's house when I moved all our furniture and everything into from New
Okay,
Brunswick into our
hold on,
house. I did
hold
not
on.
pay that rent and live with you. It's what you're telling me.
Okay,
You're
that's a
telling me that
question.
since
That's a
Milani,
question.
okay,
That's the question. All right, Mr. Ron, did he pay the rent when he was moved, when you all moved in?
That was in 2017. Yes, he paid the
Okay,
deposit.
we're
Not the
just
rent. I
talking,
paid the deposit.
I'm sorry, we're just talking about since December of 2019. Is that what you're
okay,
talking about, Mr.
yes,
Rodriguez?
yes, sir. So
Just,
okay. So when we moved in, Yvonne, all right, I paid the rent. We lived there together. Milani was born. Yes, we got mad. We got mad. I went to my sister's house. I came back to you, and I lived in there again. Well, I only stayed at my
I,
sister's house like a week.
Mr. Rodriguez, it
Okay,
doesn't
so but
make, it
I'm
doesn't make
asking
any,
her a question.
no, it doesn't make any sense to me because you're not telling me when.
Okay. After Milani was born, she got out of ICU, and did not when she got out of ICU, I went back and lived with you again because we were mad at each other. But I went back and lived with you. Did we not provide everything for Milani? Stroller.
Mr. Rodriguez,
When
when?
Milani was born. When Milani was
Oh,
born, all the way till
so
she till
on,
3 months ago
so
before
wait,
our last.
wait. You know, I can't make a decision unless I have some clear understanding of what you're talking about. So you're saying on December 19th, 2019, you went back to live with her?
Yes, sir. And that's when we
On the
stayed
day she
in
was born, you
on the
went
day
back to
she
live with her.
on the day she was born. All right, we got her out of ICU. When I
On
got her
the,
out of ICU,
on the,
we got her out of ICU because she was in ICU because she had like a lung infection or
how long?
and
How long?
um I lived with her for
No. How long was she
No.
in ICU?
she was in ICU for about a week. I
Okay,
wanted
so
to
you
say like a
didn't move,
week.
so you weren't living there on the 19th. You were living there after Christmas. You moved in
Uh
after Christmas.
no, okay. I had lived there before and then I left for like a
No,
week or two
I'm only
and I came
talking
back.
about since December 19th. When are you going to
Yes,
get that
sir.
into your head? Okay.
Yes, sir.
When did you move in after December 19th?
Right after she got out the hospital,
Which was
which
like sometime a little
yeah,
after
right after she was born.
right after Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then I lived there for
Okay.
a while until
Okay.
we were
Hold
getting
on a
into
minute.
arguments.
Hold on a minute. That's the question. Didn't he move in with you right after Christmas, after Milani was born, Mr.
No,
Ron?
sir. Because right after she was born, his sisters asked me if I would watch his mom after having the baby because they were going to Disney. And I helped with his mom for a week and a half. I stayed over at his sister's house to help with the mom. And then I came back to my house. My baby
What?
didn't
Give me
get
a date.
sick until
Give me a
March.
date. Give me a date. When did you come back to your house?
I came back to my house like after Christmas, after like the 26th of December.
After Christmas. Well, now he's saying he moved
Correct.
in right after that.
Okay,
So she was in ICU in March.
so
She was in that.
after
Wait,
okay,
Mr. Rodriguez. I'm trying to clear this stuff up.
okay.
So your baby was in ICU until March.
No, she was in ICU in March. So she was
Well,
with me at
that
my
okay.
house.
You're jumping way ahead. We're going from now February, December 26th or 27th. Where were you living?
My house.
And he was,
79 Oakville Vera.
and he had moved in with you.
No. He
All
still
right.
I
lived with his
didn't.
All right.
sister.
Hold on. Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, you have another question.
Yes. How can I okay, this is a question to her so you can say that okay, you're gonna tell me since Milani was born that me and you never lived together in our house on Elvira that I paid rent to get us into and moved us into with my trucks. You're gonna tell
Well,
me
hold on. You're going too far. All right. You're going to tell him that you all never lived together since the child was born.
under
Correct.
oath.
So you moved to the back house after she came out of ICU.
No. The question is, you didn't live together since the child was born at all?
Correct. No, we did
Oh
not in
my
the same house
God.
All right, Mr.
because
Rodriguez.
of the
All
So
right,
fire.
I
that's
paid
the
you rent
answer.
for
You
nothing?
already answered. You said no. Okay. I don't want to hear any further explanation. I want to hear answers to the questions and simple questions, one at a time, not all sorts of explanations. Mr. Rodriguez, do you have another question for her? She says, no, you never lived together. Okay. You have another question.
Okay. So my question to you is, and this is an honest question, and I know it's not, how can you sit here and lie and say that my daughter and I, Yvonne, come on. I mean, I know you
What is
want
the
money.
question, sir? What is the question?
The question is, how can she can sit here and lie under oath that we did not live? I have family, I have
Yeah,
friends that
okay,
wouldn't
okay.
let
Wait. How can she sit here and lie under oath that?
to say me and my daughter have never lived together with her under that house since my daughter, she said
All right,
before
all
my
right,
daughter
all
was
right, all
born.
right. That's the question. That's the question. No, after the daughter's born. Are you lying, Mr. Ron?
No, sir, I'm not.
Oh,
Fine.
All right, Mr.
okay.
Rodriguez,
One
you
more
have
question.
another
Who
question.
paid your rent to get into that? Who paid the rent for us to get into that house that we moved into on Elvira Street that we lived together? Who paid that rent? Because you didn't
Okay,
have the
wait,
money. So
Mr. Rodriguez. So what was the date on that?
this is when we first moved in because
2017.
we
No.
actually split up and got back, but I always lived there. I paid the rent, I did everything. She bought nothing. My family did everything for that
What
baby.
date, ma'am? What date, sir, are you talking about?
This was before Melanie was born. This was
Okay,
before we lived together and
I've
after.
told you now 3 times that we're only dealing with since Melania was born.
Okay,
So
so
don't
since
ask
this
any questions about before.
okay, so since Melanie was born, I still lived there, right? Okay, so Yvonne,
Wait.
after I lived there,
Wait. I think that was a question.
okay,
Since Melania was born, he lived there. Is that right?
In
No.
the back house.
No.
no,
Okay.
no.
Go ahead. Mr.
So I
Rodriguez,
did
you
not
have
have
another
to
question.
wait for that back apartment to be ready because there was tenants in that back apartment while we lived together before we got it ready. And then another question for you,
No.
Juan. You did
No.
okay,
One question at a time.
okay.
So he did not have to wait for tenants to move out before he could move into that apartment, Mr. Ron?
He at that time he was living at the warehouse.
Oh,
Ishmael,
Okay.
don't lie.
you're
All
such
right.
a
You were
liar.
All
living
right.
at the warehouse,
All
and
right.
I have
All
the
right.
photos
Right.
of all your stuff at the warehouse.
And okay, and you have photos of me in your house.
Wait a minute. What's wrong with you guys? This is a
It's just
trial. This is not just Judy. You can't sit here and just argue with each other. I want to find one or both of you in contempt of court and put you in jail for interfering with the administration of justice here. Now, it's one question and it's one answer. There is no arguing. Is that understood, Mr. Rodriguez?
it's understood,
Is
Your
that
Honor.
understood? Is that
Yes, sir.
understood, Mr. Ron?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Ron is claiming that no, yeah, you may have to wait, but you were living at the warehouse, not in the house with her. All right. I have another question for her, Mr. Rodriguez.
Um, I actually I just want to tell my side of the story, just like she
I'll
did in
let
the
you do
beginning.
that.
So
I'll let you do that.
okay.
Okay, but not right now.
And okay, Yvonne, how can you say that my daughter's been with me? Our daughter has been with me since she was born. I've always been around her. How can you say that we don't have that relationship? She knows me. Still to this day, I see her every 2 weeks and she calls me daddy, daddy, daddy.
What is
She
the
knows me.
question? The question
So
is, how can you say that the daughter doesn't know her father?
Because the last time that he saw her, well, he saw her in October. That was the last time he saw her before Halloween. But before that was again in October, and before that was since
and
I
did
don't
you
even
not
know
keep her
when.
from me? All this time, did you not keep her from me when every day I tried to get to be with my daughter since the months that I moved out that back
Okay,
house?
the
Did you
question,
not
Mr.
keep her from me?
Rodriguez, the question, did you keep the daughter from the father?
No, sir.
So
Oh,
since October, he has not requested to visit with the child. Is that correct, Mr. Ron?
His sister requested
oh,
for her to be
No,
picking her up.
no, I didn't ask this. His
Okay.
sister did. He has
No,
not requested?
he has
Okay,
asked.
and so why hasn't he been able to see his child?
So because the times before that, he wasn't seeing her. She was a baby when he last saw her.
oh no.
No, ma'am. So why, since October, if he's tried to see his child, you've not allowed him to see the child?
Because the times that he said he was coming, he doesn't show up and says, "I'm sorry, I was drinking, I messed up." I'm
That
not gonna
is
let
a
her go
lie.
if he's drinking.
I've
Well,
never been
no,
around my
ma'am.
daughters drinking.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's So that was back in October, or whenever, right?
No, October, he saw her. He saw her in
Yes,
October.
okay, so November and the few days of this month, he's asked to
Yes.
see the child, but you have not allowed it.
No. I told him, where do you want to meet at? Because I'm very like reasonable. You tell me where and I will be there with her.
Reasonable.
But if you don't
Okay.
tell me,
I have
right.
another question for her. Now this is a question. Okay. So I'm just every day since that child has left my life because you took her from me, Ivan. Have I not sent you? Because I got messages I could send to this judge every day that you did not let me see her. You ignored them. You didn't. You did. Did you ignore all the messages that I sent you about my daughter every day since every day that I blew up my phone from my daughter asking you that you kept her from me for no reason at all? Did you not do that? Because I got messages and I could send them to him every day that I asked for my daughter that you kept her from. So did you? Did you not keep her from me when I asked her every day? When I drink, I only drink once a
There
month,
we go.
maybe. All right. So
This
that's
is
bull crap.
246. All right, this matter is transferred to the 246 District Court. DRO mediation is ordered. Anything further, Ms. Parker?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. The temporary orders will remain in effect.